Hello everyone. So in the last tutorial, we have seen that how do we perform the CRUD operations using ADO.NET in the console application. So at that time, we have discussed that even though the code is working fine, but there are some we can say problems with this code. So the first problem that we can find in this code was that there was lots of duplicates over here, which means this connection string is coming everywhere. So the problem is that we are actually not following the dry principle. So dry principle means don't repeat yourself, but we are using this connection string in every method. So the problem will be that later in future, whenever you want to change the connection string, we have to change it in every method. So first problem was that. Second, if we know the difference in managed and unmanaged code. So managed code means the code which is managed by CLR itself, which means that particular objects, we can say creation, its use and its destruction is managed by CLR itself. But unmanaged code means the code which is not managed by CLR, which means it's, we can say, creation, its use and destruction is not actually managed by CLR now, which means we can see connection object is there and command object. So even though you close the connection, even then this connection object, command object, they will still be available in memory. So we need to destroy these objects also. So how we can do that? Okay, we will see that also in this tutorial. First, I will just check this part, that how do you create a simple method that will return the connection string. So there is no need to use this in every method. So what we will do, we will just add one more method. So I will name it as static string. I will name it as get connection string, and we will return from here connection string. Please copy it from here. This one. We'll copy it from here and we'll put this here now. And also I will add one more method. So I will say static. Then I will say SQL connection, get connection. And this setup will return the connection object. You can say simply like this. So return new SQL connection and get connection string. And now I can simply call this method in every method. So let me comment the statement and will modify the code here. I will say SQL connection is equal to, we call this function over here. So basically, we don't want to repeat the connection string in every method. So let me put this in every method now. So I will simply write here, call this method. So we'll remove it from here also. I'm just adding the comments, you can see the difference. And here also, we'll simply call that method. So in future, whenever you want to change the connection string, so it only change that in one method, that was get connection string. Here also, we'll simply call that method. Okay. Now, one problem is solved. Second problem that we discussed was that this connection command object, they come in unmanaged code category, which means even though you close the connection object, even then it will be available in memory. So what you should do? So there are two ways. There are two ways to destroy these objects. One way is that I can say command dot dispose. I can call this function explicitly connection dot dispose. This function, this method is basically used to destroy these objects. Once the connection is closed, we don't need these two objects now, so we can simply call this method to destroy. And again we can see dispose, it releases all the resources used by the system.component model component, which means basically you just want to destroy this object. And I can again go to the second method. And here also, once the connection is closed, I can simply say destroy this object also. Connection dot dispose. One way is that we can simply call the dispose method explicitly. Other way is that we can use using block. Using block. Using block means that we are just defining a scope. So I will not use semicolon here. Rather, we'll be using curly braces. Basically, this is a using block. Basically, we are saying that we are we are just giving scope for this object. Scope for this object is these curly braces. Once this object will come out of this loop, this braces, the dispose method will be called implicitly. And here also I can use using block. Will not give semicolon, and we use braces, which again I will close here, which again means scope for this object is these curly braces. So there is no need to call the dispose method explicitly now. It will be called automatically once it will come out of the curly braces. And we'll again modify the other codes also. I will say again using block, and we'll again braces, and we'll do the same thing for command object also. Here also I can use a similar, okay, I can say using, or we can call the dispose method also explicitly. So there is again no need to terminate that. I can again say using, and again here also I can use curly braces, which again I can close here, and here also we need to close it one more time. One is for command and one is for the connection object. Or else I can, okay, so we need to close the connection also. Connection address, and then we can say connection dot dispose. We should again say here command dot dispose. So we have seen two things over here, that whenever you want to, like there's a difference between a program and a good program. So we should always follow dry principle. So whenever you are like looking at we need the connections thing which is coming in every method. So we should actually create different methods, and that will be performing those tasks. And also once you're using these connection and command objects, because they come under the unmanaged code category, so we have to dispose them explicitly. CLR will not do that thing for us. Okay, so again we can either call the dispose method explicitly, or we can also use a using block. Purpose remains same. Basically using block also defines a scope for the objects. So I will stop here now. In the next tutorial, we will see that how do you perform the CRUD operations in an MVC application using ADO.NET only. Thanks for watching. Bye.